This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. Just relaxing here on my couch. The one, the only a father on the couch. Wow! You know, I was watching this interview on Jordan Belfort, and he was on Tucker Carlson. And, at first I have to say, I liked everything he was saying. He's on the side of the retail investor. He's very impressed how we all found a way to group together and, create enough buying power that when we see a gap in a market, meaning that a particular stock has been very heavily shorted, that we can attack with buying power and obviously win, which would happen in the case of GameStop in January of last year. But then he started saying things like this. He's like, I don't know if the hedge funds would put themselves in that position again. I highly doubt that. Another thing he said is that a lot of the regulators consider what we're doing. This is what made me laugh, to be kind of illegal. Isn't that funny in a way? How, in other words, we're all grouping together buying a stock, which is technically illegal to do that, you know what I mean? But he's like, I don't think they get in any trouble unless you had one particular individual kind of driving it and pushing it at the same day. But I just find it to be, there's a lot of sun, I apologize. I just find it to be so funny how, there's never any talk of what the hedge funds are doing. There's never any talk about that, how they're using all of these illegal tactics, naked shorting, these unlimited borrowing of fake shares, promissory notes, synthetic shares. It's you ever notice how no one's talking about this? I've watched, I'm not even kidding you, I must have watched several videos on this particular topic, specifically with Gary Gensler interviews. I never hear anything about, you hear things like it's on the table, or we're investigating it, or we're looking into it, but you never ever hear specific people actually say the hedge funds are doing anything illegally. Never. It's always like a hypothetical. It's always it's on the table. We're looking into it. But one thing that they all seem to be unanimously agreeing to is that the retail investors, the Reddit community, found a way to group together and buy stocks that are heavily shorted. That's something that there's no question about. There's no arguments about, and in a lot of cases, they're making us look like we're the bad guy, right? So I just find that to be very funny. How are we the bad guy? What about the hedge funds? What about what they're doing? How come there's nothing definite? This is what I want to know. That's putting the finger on them, saying you're doing something illegal. You're doing something that is causing the stock to go down illegally. It's always I just feel this is what I feel like, okay? I just feel they're not, no one is admitting to illegal activity from hedge funds. Maybe there's talk of it, maybe there's assumptions, maybe it's on the table, it's something they're going to look into. And it just seems to me no one is going the distance where they're actually claiming that the hedge funds are doing illegal activity. And I think that's the missing piece of the puzzle. You want me to tell you? The missing piece of the puzzle is that the hedge funds have not been declared criminals. They're not. So as of right now, as of today, they're doing nothing wrong. It's business as usual. And if they're not going to be held accountable for, it's a major problem. And I don't know what we need to do, but we need to do something to put pressure on people to hold these hedge funds accountable. See, first of all, still to this day, even with this new transparency rule, there is no transparency. So the hedge funds are not disclosing the synthetics. They're not. Citadel Connect, the dark pools are still going, still running business as usual, where they're not disclosing nothing. They're not disclosing nothing. And I don't even know what this transparency rule is, if you want me to be honest with you. I have no idea what it is. I know it was a proposed rule. I have no idea what it's looking to accomplish now that it's in effect. Doesn't seem like it's accomplishing anything. So we have a serious problem. And this problem has to be addressed immediately. We have to put pressure on the SEC. We have to put pressure on Adam Aaron. He has to do a share recount. We have to get Aaron to really step up to the plate as our CEO to start defending the apes, start defending this corruption. And if he doesn't want to do it, we got to vote him out. We got to put somebody like me, okay, in the management position, in the CEO position. We need an ape. We need to seriously, that's what we need to do. If we ever had a shareholder meeting, we need to management has to understand that they're either going to defend us, they're either going to stand up for our rights, or they're out. We have to vote them out. It's that simple. So I don't know what you feel about this, but I'm just really starting to get sick and tired of how these hedge funds have a get out of jail free card. It's really pissing me off, and I can't take it no more. AMC to Pluto.